Hello dear students, welcome to this next video. We are going through this course on functions. So this is our sixth video, and in this video we are going to discuss about an important concept, which is domain and range of functions. Already we have talked a little bit about it, but here we will be talking about it in detail. Okay, so let us look at what is the domain and range of a function. So I would like you to think of a function is a kind of machine. Okay, so you have a function, you think of it like a machine, and you input something in that machine and you get some output, right? For example, if you have a juicer, right? So you just input in that juicer, say orange, and you get a glass of fresh juice. Okay, so this is your input and this is your output, and this is your machine. So you can have a similar thought here, that function is a machine and your orange is your input here. So whatever we feed from the left side, that is our input, and whatever we get on the right hand side, that is our output. For example, if I have a machine like this, f of x is equal to x square. So this is a machine, f of x is equal to x square. If I feed 1 here, so I will get 1 square. Okay, for example, if you feed orange here, you will get orange juice. If you feed apple here in the juicer, you will get apple juice. Okay, so you change your input, your output will be changed. Similarly, here also, if I input 2, the output will be 2 square, that is 4. If I input 3, the output will be 3 square, that is 9, and so on. Okay, so this is a kind of machine, and these are my inputs and these are all my outputs. Okay, now I would like to ask you a question. So in a juicer, can I put iron bars? Can iron bars be an input for the juicer? The answer is no. Why? Because if I put iron bar into the juicer, okay, I will not get iron juice. Okay, so it means that I can feed orange, I can feed apple, but I cannot feed iron bars. So all the allowed inputs, they are called domain. Okay, so all the allowed inputs, they are called domain. And correspondingly, set of all outputs, that is my range. Is that okay? That is my range. So it is not necessary that we can feed all kind of numbers into a function. For example, if my machine is like this, f of x is equal to square root of x. Okay, and I'm talking about real numbers. So if I feed 1, so I will get output as square root of 1, which is 1. And if I feed, say, 4 in this machine, I'll get output as square root of 4, which is 2. If I feed 9, I'll get square root of 9, which is 3. If I feed 2 also, I'll get something, square root of 2, which is 1.14 something. Okay, but if I feed minus 3, so the machine will say error, because minus 3 square root is not possible if you are talking about real numbers. Okay, we are not talking about complex numbers right now. So it means that that is not an allowed input, not an allowed input. Okay, so it means that for this particular machine, set of allowed inputs are anything greater than equal to 0. So all x greater than equal to 0, that is my input which I can feed into this machine. So this is my domain. Is that okay? So this is how you do the things. And what about this? F of x is equal to x square. You can feed anything. So the domain here is set of all real numbers. And what will be the range? Range will be, because you are feeding anything and you are doing x square. So you will never get a negative number, because square of a number is always positive. So your range will be y greater than equal to 0 if I write y is equal to x square. You got it? So here for this particular function, your domain is set of all real numbers and your range is y greater than equal to 0. And if we go to the second case where f of x is equal to square root of x, so what is my domain? Domain is all positive x. And what is my range? Range is also all positive y, because I cannot get a negative number. Okay, and suppose if I have something like this, f of x is equal to minus square root of x. Suppose this is my machine. Then what are the possible inputs? Inputs is I have to make this thing positive. So domain is x greater than equal to 0. What is the range? Range here is, this is positive and you have put a negative sign here. So range will be y less than is equal to 0. Okay. So this is how you find the domain and range. Let me take another example. So if you have f of x is equal to 1 by x. 1 by x. Suppose this is your machine. Now can you take a moment and think about what are the possible inputs? What am I allowed to input here? So you see, I can input anything other than 0, because 1 by 0 is giving me infinity. That number I don't know. So I can put anything. Input is anything other than 0. Other than 0. Okay. So your input, your domain will be all real numbers except 0. You can write it like this. And can you tell me what is the range? Range here will be, this function will take all the values except 0, because 0, it will never become 0, right? Because 1 by x can be very small, but it will never be 0, because it will be 0 when x is infinity and we never reach infinity. So its range is all y except 0. So we write it as r minus 0. This r stands for set of all real numbers. Set of all real numbers. Okay. Okay. Now I will be discussing some examples. So I hope that you know the definition of domain and range. This we have already done. So just write down. So domain here is set of all real numbers. We know that for x square you can input any number, and range here is set of all positive real numbers. Okay. This also we have already done. So domain here is set of all real numbers, and range here is all positive real numbers. Okay. So now look at this. Can you tell me what it is? I want you to tell me the domain and range. So domain is set of all inputs. Now see what are the inputs here. So you have x-axis. This is your input. And this y-axis is your outputs. So let us see what are the all inputs here. So this number, because this point is corresponding to this and this. This point corresponding to this and this. This point corresponds to this value of x and this value of y. This point here corresponds to this value of x and this value of y. This point here corresponding to this value of x and this value of y. This value of x and 0 value of y. So here this is the x and this is the y. Here this is the x and this is the y. So you can just see that, okay, this point is x0, y1. This point is x1, y2. This point is x2, y3. And this point is x3, y4. And this point is x minus 1 and y0. And this point is x minus 2 and y minus 1. And this point is x minus 3 and y minus 2. Now you see, what are your inputs? Inputs are this, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. And this point is left. This point is 0, 0. But this was not in our domain, right? Okay. So what are our inputs? Inputs will be minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. And then this point is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So let me write down the domain set is, so domain set is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Then you have 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and what is the range? Range is all the outputs. Now let us see what are the outputs. Outputs are -2, -1, 0. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So let us write down the outputs. So outputs are going to be -2, -1, and then 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. So these are the outputs. Okay, so this is how we write the domain and range. Okay, so I want you to try this one. Can you see what is your domain here and what is your range here? I want you to tell me. Just take 2 minutes maybe, or you can pause the video and you can just see what are the possible inputs and outputs. Okay, so now you see here, this is my x-axis, this is my input, and this is my y-axis, and this is my output. So here you see your graph is going from here till here. Okay, everywhere. Not like the last graph, we had discrete points there. Here we have continuous. Okay, so it means that this is my domain from -5 to 10, but you have to be careful. Here you have a closed dot. Here you have an open dot. Open dot means this -5 is not included. So your domain is -5 till 10, but this -5 is not included and this 10 is included. Included means I'll put a closed bracket. Okay, so you can write like this, or you can write x belongs to real number such that -5 is less than x is less than is equal to 10. Okay, now let us see what is your range. Can you tell me what is your range? So range is all possible outputs. So can you see the output here is only this 4 and 2. So the range is 2 and 4. So what is happening here? That from -5 to 5, we have 4 as the output. And from 5 to 10, we have 2 as the output. So this is a machine. This machine is producing only 2 outputs. One is 2 and one is 4. That's it. Okay. So this is my range. So I hope you understand what exactly we are doing. And now let us look at another example. So I give you this function f of x is equal to 2x minus 3. What is the domain and range? So you see what is the domain and range. So now see, do you see, like whenever you have a question about domain and range, you have to see what are the possible restrictions. So here when you have 2x minus 3, there is no restriction because there is no square root, there is no denominator, so we can put any value of x. So you can feed any value of x. You can feed any value of x in your machine, any value of x. Therefore, this is a domain is all real numbers, all real numbers. And what is a range? When you feed any value, you will get all the possible outputs. So range is also set of all real numbers here. Okay. Okay, now I have this one. So you have to tell me what is a domain and range. So it's better that this is a quadratic function, right? And we know y is equal to minus 3x plus 1 square plus 6. What is this? This is a parabola, right? Y minus 6 is equal to minus 3x plus 1 square. So this is a parabola which has the vertex at x is equal to minus 1 and y is equal to 6. And because of this negative sign, this is a downward parabola. So it is like this. Okay, and it will go like this. So now tell me what is the domain? Domain is all x, right? Because everywhere you can just put all the values of x. So domain is all x. And range, can you tell me? Range here is, see, this is your vertex. Vertex is minus 1 comma 6. And you know that your graph is not going up. So it means that your range, which is the possible y values, that will be starting from 6 onwards. Okay, so range will be, so y less than 6. Okay, so y less than 6. Anything less than 6 is your range because your graph is not going beyond the line, this line, which is above you have y greater than 6. So your graph is not going there. So this is your range. Okay. So now this one, can you try? I give you this function square root of 2 minus x, and we have to find out the domain and range. So let us do for domain. Domain, I tell you that inside whatever is this, it should be positive. So we want 2 minus x should be greater than equal to 0, because then only the square root is defined. So you can add x on both sides. We know that we can do that to an inequality. So you have 2 minus x plus x is greater than equal to 0 plus x. So you have 2 greater than equal to x. So your domain is, this is my domain. So how I can write it? So you see, this is x less than is equal to 2. So this is 2. On the number line, it's like this. Okay, so you can write it like minus infinity to 2. 2 included. Or you can just write like this. That is also okay. Okay, better way to write is x less than is equal to 2. Okay, and what is the range? Range, you see, you will always get a positive number. Okay, so you have square root of 2 minus x. This is y is greater than equal to 0. You will get anything which is greater than equal to 0. Okay, some students have this doubt. They say that square root of 4 can be 2 or minus 2. That is wrong. Okay, so what we say, we always put a positive or negative sign outside a square root. Okay, so if it is like this, it means that we are talking about positive square root, and if it is like this, then we are talking about negative square root. Okay, so generally we have y square is equal to x, then we write y is equal to plus minus square root of x. Okay, yeah. Okay, here is the last example. So here we will just connect, a word problem, like something which we can actually see happening around us. We'll try to use functions there. So here we have Vitaly and Sherry have 24 meter of fencing. They have 24 meter of wire. Okay, to enclose a rectangular garden at the back of their house. So they have total 24 meters fencing, and they want to make a rectangular garden. So your first question is, explain the area of the garden as a function of the width. So you have, suppose you have a rectangular garden, and suppose, let us call this as the width x. So you have to explain area in terms of width. So we have to write what is the area of the garden. This is area we are talking about. What is this area of the garden? Now the information given to me is that the total fencing is 24 meters. So now we know that if this is x and this is a rectangle, this is also x. Okay, so how much is this? Can you tell me? So you see, what will be your length? So you have 24 meter total fencing, and 2x is your x and x. These are your width. So you will be left with, so you have 24 minus x and x 2 times minus 2x. That is your length plus length. This length and this length. Okay, because what you want, let us just do it like this. So we want that 2 times x plus L should be 24, because that is the total perimeter. So you have x plus L is 12, right? So your length is 12 minus x. So your length is 12 minus x. Okay. And then what is the area now? Now you know the length also and the width also. So area will be length times width. Okay, so you get length is your 12 minus x times x. So this is the area. So we can write area as this, 12 minus x times x. We can just put the value of x and we'll get the value of area. So this is the first part. Now the second part is that you have to find out the domain and range. So I have not written it here. So the next part is find the domain and range of this function. So now you see. So you have a function here. So let us just try to write. What is this? This is minus x, x minus 12. So this is a quadratic form, right? So this is a parabola. This is a parabola if I draw it. Okay, and where it intersects x-axis, so intercepts are, x-intercepts are, I will just put this thing equal to 0. So I get x is equal to 0 and 12. Okay, so the intercepts are 0 and 12. So what is the vertex? Vertex I know is the midway between the x-intercepts. So vertex is at x is equal to 6. And what is the value of y? Y at x is equal to 6 is minus 6 times 6 minus 12. So that is minus 6 times minus 6. That is 36. So the parabola looks like this. So you have, this is the vertex 6 comma 36. And you have 0, 0. And then you have another 12 comma 0 here. So my parabola is like this. I'm sorry, let me make it nicer, little nicer. Okay, so now you talk about the domain. So the domain here is all possible values of x. So domain here is all possible values of x. So domain is all x. Is it true? Can you tell me now? If we just look at this graph, we say the domain is all possible values of x. But now you see, this is a word problem. Like this is something related to, real life. Now, can you make x is your width, right? So you cannot make it negative. So this answer we cannot give here, that no, all possible values of x. So because x is a width here, so we say that x has to be greater than 0. Otherwise, there is no sense, right? And what can be the maximum value of x? So you see? So x is your width. And we know that total is 24. So the maximum value can be 12. And that also we cannot include. Because if your width is equal to 12, in that case your length is 0. In that case it is not a rectangle. So that doesn't make sense. So this is your domain. So now you see, when you have a real life situation and you are finding the domain and range. So you cannot just look at the graph. Here see what happens when you go beyond 0 or beyond 12, right? So y is negative. It means that that doesn't make sense, because y is the area. So we are talking about only this portion, that we can go from this to this and both points excluded, right? Why? Because if we have 0 length, 0 width, x is 0. That doesn't make sense. And if we have 12 width, in that case your length is 0. That again doesn't make sense. Now let us see what is the range. A range will be, see, a range is, you can just look at here. If your x is here, so your range is, area starts from 0 to 36. And 0 is not included because area cannot be 0. Okay. And 36 is included. How? When you have length, width is equal to 30, this is 6, this is 6, this is 6 and this 6. In that case your area is 36. So this is your range. Okay, so this is how you proceed when you have a real life example. So you see, if I just give you this function and ask for domain and range, your answer will be something else. If I give you this I give you this problem, and then you construct this function like accordingly, then you have to think about what are the possible values of x in your area. Okay, I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, you can write in the comment box. Okay, so thank you for watching. Share this video and subscribe to this channel. And you can also contact us at this mail ID here, or you have a Google form in the description for this video, and you can just fill that Google form. It's very easy. It's just 2-3 questions and we will contact you. Thank you. Happy learning.